My boyfriend's friend put red Jell-O shots into my new white designer purse and thinks that he is funny. He's now banned from parties, and I threatened to sue him. I recently bought an authentic designer purse. It's something I've wanted my entire life, and I finally reached a point where I can afford to do it. Not super relevant, but I grew up poor, so in a way it was cathartic to me to buy something frivolous that I really wanted, which is partially why it means so much to me. I've had this purse for less than a month and have only worn it out twice. Once to a work event and once to a nice dinner. We went on with my boyfriend and his friends this last weekend. We were hanging out at my boyfriend's friend's house after dinner, and I hung my purse on the chair behind me. At this point, I trusted everyone in the house and wasn't really concerned about it. We've all been hanging out for years now. When I came back, my purse was right where I left it. When we left for the night, I grabbed it and thought it felt heavier, but didn't look inside of it until I went to unload it when we got home. For some reason, someone thought it would be funny to put uncovered red Jell-O shots into my purse with a white interior, where they proceeded to leak. The entire inside was stained a splotchy pink shade, and to say I was livid is an understatement. We're all between 30 and 60, so everyone is old enough not to do something so stupid. I attempted to clean it to no avail. My boyfriend reached out to the group chat that has about half of his friends in it, and asked if anyone knew who had done it. One person admitted they saw someone do it and told us who. It was one of the older members of the group who was known for messing with people's belongings, but never to this degree. For example, when we went swimming last summer, he filled the pockets of my shorts with Chex Mix. No one finds his antics funny. In my opinion, it's common sense to refrain from putting red goo into a white bag, but he claims that he was just being funny and didn't think they would leak. I asked him for money to either repair the bag or replace it, and he claims he does not have that much money. He says the bag looks cheap, so he didn't think it would be a big deal even if the shots had leaked. I know that he has ample assets and can find a way to compensate me for what he had damaged. When I pointed this out, he told me that it was my fault for bringing around an expensive bag and that something could have easily been spilled on it instead. While I would have been upset if that had been the case, I wouldn't have been anywhere near as upset because this had been done intentionally and is now being blamed on me. I told him that he needed to find the money or I would be suing him for the damages, and a couple people in the group think I'm going too far. My boyfriend is thankfully as angry as I am, and I don't want this situation to come at the cost of any of his friendships, but I also want compensated for my property that I worked my butt off for. Update. I had my appointment to have the bag looked at. They would be able to mostly repair it, however. It's likely that the liquid seeped through the lining and may have damaged the bag beyond repair. They wouldn't know until they got into it. Even so, the smell of crusty old Jell-O and liquor would likely linger and deteriorate any resale value the purse may have in the future. For these reasons, I will be going after him for the entire value of the purse. I'm going to reach out to my attorney in the morning to see if he can help me or refer me to someone who can. My boyfriend and I made it clear we would never be in the same place as him ever again, which kind of puts the ball in everyone else's court. He has a weird fixation with me, mostly, but he also torments most of the women in the group. I mentioned this in the comments, but it may have gotten buried, but during my first interaction with him, I had left my phone out while I had quickly gone to the bathroom. At some point, he snatched my phone up, went somewhere else in the house, took a picture of his butthole, and replaced my phone in the same spot. I found the picture a few hours later when I opened my camera roll to show someone my dog, and my boyfriend asked me horrified why I had a hairy butthole in my phone. I was mortified and had no explanation, and it wasn't until this man was hammered that he admitted he did it. We were all disgusted, and he stopped being invited for a while because my boyfriend refused to be around him. Last year, he started being invited again and immediately started pranking me in harmless ways. He liked to do this with new girlfriends, especially I noticed, and I am one of the newest in the friend group. One of my boyfriend's friends started dating a new girl, and she got a similar treatment, but nothing as severe. He likes to tamper with our clothes mostly. I don't know what the motive is, but he doesn't usually mess with the guys, just the women. Update. I got a quote for repair, but it was likely futile as the smell of cheap liquor would likely remain, even if only faintly. Additionally, doing so drastically affects resale value should I ever choose to sell it. For these reasons, I was pursuing him for a replacement purse. I laid all of the information out in writing to him and had my boyfriend hand deliver it to him. To summarize, I broke the cost of the replacement down to the penny and threatened legal action should he not replace what he damaged. The next day, one of my boyfriend's other friends showed up with a check made payable to me for the entire amount. The only thing that could be seen as funny is the memo line on the check, which was "See you next Tuesday." I deposited the check and it cleared, so thankfully, he didn't try to play any additional games by having it bounce. I think he knew I was serious and didn't want any more costs adding up should I take him to court.